This is the second episode of library tutorial. So it was suggested right here to look at the elements before scripting, custom theme system. Yeah, that'll all come later when the UI library is actually finished. You can incorporate that. You can join this server. The link will be in the description. If I don't forget, like last time, it's gonna be in the comments if I do. So yeah, as you can see, I've made a few tiny changes because I didn't like the way it looked. And let me just add another thing that I forgot. So I'm a fan of borders, so I want a line at the bottom of the top bar. You'll see what I mean in a second. So as you can see, once you get into it, like, process gets really fast. There we go. Now it looks kind of like Orion, but that's not what we're going for because Orion looks shit. Alright, it's just bad. The layouts, the padding, everything is off. Like it was fucking made for a Roblox simulator commission. Okay. So yeah, the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make tabs. Then I'm gonna show you how to make double-sided tabs, so you have like two sides, sections, buttons, text boxes. If this video doesn't get too long, I'm gonna aim for like 20 minutes. And yeah, and then the next time, if there's more stuff to be covered, I'll cover those, and then we're gonna get into the scripting. So for the tabs, we're just gonna create a frame that's gonna hold the tabs, and we're gonna position it like after the top bar. And since the top bar is 30 pixels big, I'm gonna offset it by 30 on the Y, and then another like 6 for like a small padding. If you don't know what padding is, it's just like inner space of this element. So this frame has 6 pixels padding. That means this and everything that's inside is going to be like 6 pixels like in, and margin is the opposite. So technically this thing has 6 pixels margin. That means it's 6 pixels away from its parent frame. Yeah, if you don't understand, you can just hit me up in the Discord. I'm willing to explain everything. Yeah, so now I'm just gonna change the sizes. Like that. If you're wondering, this is just math. So basically I'm taking the full width and full height of this window, and I'm subtracting the top bar and all these 6 pixel gaps. So now it's always going to be the same because we're using, I almost dropped my bottle, because we're using scale and offset through the property window. I'll demonstrate what happens if you use the mouse. Yeah, so I just move it with the mouse and it's still working because I changed it earlier. Let me just do this. So I'll do it with the mouse, and yeah, that's what happens. So make sure you don't do that. And I have to do this shit again. There we go. So you want to make this transparent if you want. You don't have to. You can make it like a different color, and then like so that people know that this is where the content is. But I'll just make it transparent. So now that you have your tab holder, we're gonna create our first tab. Now what I forgot is we need a navigation. So I'm quickly going to show you how to do that. I'm just gonna get rid of this for now. Inside of main, you want to add another frame, call it navigation. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using like a sidebar type of navigation. Those always look nice. Again, we're going to offset it by the top bar size, and then also +1 for the line here. Remove the border, add this UI corner. You're going to see why in a second. Once we change the size to be, that is too much, -31, there we go. So this is too much, 100, let's say 120, there we go. So now change the color so it fits, usually something in between like that. Now this line is actually not needed, so I'll just change the offset. Now as you can see, it's round and it corresponds, but this is round, this is round, and this is round, and we don't want that. So since Roblox is shit and still doesn't have like the rounding on like singular corners, but does all at the same time, we have to do it ourselves by adding frames and hiding those visible extra round corners. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. So those are gone. Now we need this one. And there we go. So now we have a perfect navigation bar, and this is where our content is going to be. If you want, you can have like 3 lines and then like make it collapsible and expandable. I'm not gonna do that. Maybe I will in the future, but I just don't feel like doing it right now. So for the navigation, we want the tabs, and normally how I do them, since we have these 2 hiding frames, they're going to be in the way, so I create an extra invisible frame that just covers the entire size, plus we add a padding element, and this is going to be like the button holder, and the padding is going to be like 8 on the bottom and 8 on the top. You'll see why in a second. We're also going to add a list layout with like 1 padding. Now if I add a button, should actually be a text label. Again, we're not using Roblox's buttons because they're bad. We're going to be scripting them ourselves. So I'm just going to make this the home tab, and the size is 1 on the scale, and like this. Maybe a little less, like that. And now we're gonna customize this a little. So just make it transparent to be like a highlight sort of thing. Make this left aligned, make the text home. Use Ubuntu because it's the best font on Roblox. By the way, if you don't have this type of window, you have to enable beta features. They're pretty sick. You get early access. I think there was also some new icon update which makes Roblox Studio look lit. I don't have it yet, but it looks really fire. Kind of mad that I don't have it. Okay, so since we're going to be adding an icon here, we're also going to add another padding in the text. Why? Because we can offset the text on the left like this. Very simple. I'm going to do it by 26, and then we're going to add a image label inside, call it icon, and make the position -26 because it's being offset by the padding. I think I'm going to make it 24. No. 20 is good. Now make sure to position it properly. I'm just going to use 0.5 anchor point like that. A little less offset so there's like a small border. It's pretty good. I'm going to add a tiny bit more padding for the text and then offset this by a little more. There we go. Now we're going to make the image transparent, and I'm going to show you how to get images with icons 8. So you go on icons 8, and this is going to be home, so we're just going to search like house, and this depends on you, but I like the Windows 10 style. They have very nice icons, so I just choose the style here. Now we have a home icon anywhere, a good one, this one. Make sure that you always use the recolor feature and make it white. This is so you can change the icon color later for like theming or whatever. Uncheck this and put your custom size in here. Mine is 20 by 20 because this is 20 pixels big. We're gonna download it. Now make sure, this is optional, but it's better to make UIs in a published game. You'll see why. Say you wanted to upload this image, you would have to go on you would have to go on Roblox, create, and then upload it. But like this, when it's already published, you can just do it by doing add icon and putting it in home icon 20. Make sure to properly name stuff, always important. And there we go. This looks really nice, really clean. Yeah, don't use these gay icon plugins. I know I mentioned it last time. It's bad. You saw me struggling. This was much easier. The icon is always going to be crisp. I also changed the exit icon over here. Yeah, so then you're gonna just duplicate this for the sake of testing, and just gonna make it 1 transparency, and gonna make the text color something different. That's the background color. Text color, make it something like dark, I don't know, just to indicate that this is disabled. And as you can see, we can change the icon color easily. So we have inactive tab and active. There you go. That's your navigation. I'm quickly also going to add another thing, which is the line at the right. Don't actually need this. And get the color of this, put it in, and there we go. That's our layout. It looks very clean. So that's the navigation. Now we're gonna go back to the tabs. Just gonna plop this back in, and we're gonna adjust the size. Since this is 270 pixels, we're gonna do this. And since it's on the right, because this is on the left, the navigation is on the left, the tab holder is going to be on the right. So I'm going to change the anchor point so it's on the right, and do this. Adjust it for the padding and change the size to be 270 and the 12. What the fuck? Oh, it's 120, my bad. Go back. There we go. We have our tab holder. Now this is where all the content is gonna go. So I'm actually gonna call this content container or something. And for the content, we're just gonna plop in a frame. Call this home tab. Make it transparent. Change the size to be 100%, and now we can start with our elements. We're very close to being able to script this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick break because I'm getting dementia right now, and then we're gonna continue with the elements. This guy just subbed. Make sure to sub. If you don't, you're a faggot. Make sure to sub or I won't be posting more tutorials. Yeah, be right back. Okay, I am back after watching some Andrew Tate videos and drinking water. We're gonna continue. I'm just gonna change this because the left side is a little weird. There we go. So the home tab, I realized I have about 5 minutes left to record this because I don't want the video to get too long. So I'm just gonna show you how to make labels and buttons and maybe sliders. Okay, let's get right into it. So this is very user specific based on your design. I'm just gonna show you how I did it for Mercury. So I'm gonna have like a frame of 32 pixels and this is going to be my button. Now I'm gonna add a corner, make it like 4, yeah, add stroke, make it this color, and border, and then I'm gonna change the background color of this to a darker color. There we go. As you can see, this looks fabulous, very nice. What I forgot is this home tab, or any tab that you have, should be a scroll frame. I have this cool plugin called Reclass. Very cool guy, whoever made this, awesome. I can just convert it to a scrolling frame. It's that easy. Now one problem is this stuff that I'm just gonna remove all the visible stuff. There we go. Now it's scrollable. Make sure it's also clips descendants. There we go. Now there's this weird issue. We can easily fix that by adding a padding in here and making it 1 on every side. There we go. Perfect. Let's continue. This is going to be our button, again a frame, and we're going to add a text label for the title. I'm just going to add a padding in here and make it like 6 everywhere. Then make this label about half or actually the entire size minus what the button is going to be, which is like 20 pixels, and like that. It's too little. Let's make it like, actually, since this entire thing is going to be clickable, I can just make this the entire width, which is perfect. Align left, transparent background, and white text. Ubuntu, as always, and I'm gonna say button. There we go. I guess we could add an icon here to indicate that it is a button. So I'm actually gonna change the width of this to account for that icon. I'm gonna make it 20 pixels. So we're gonna go back to icons 8 and we're gonna search hand or click. Again, put the Windows 10 style. I really wish Roblox had like a partnership with this platform. It would be really cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna choose I'm gonna choose this cursor, recolor, white, download, uncheck 20, perfect. It's a very quick process once you get into it, as I said. And then icon, put it to the right, just like so, 20 pixels, transparent background, add the image. Now what I like to do when I make libraries, which I'm not doing right now, is that looks so good. I like to have like a folder where I have all my used icons, so I could maybe use them as Synapse assets, although I don't really do that. Yeah, so we have a button. It looks pretty good actually. Now if you would want a description here, what we did with Mercury was we checked if there was a description, and if there was, we would just make this part bigger, move this part up like this, and then add the description. I'm not gonna do that now, but that's how you do it. And again, resizable, very nice. So now that's the button that's finished, and we're gonna just duplicate it. And I just realized there is no list layout, so we're gonna add that, and we're gonna add the padding like that. Now this was gonna be the label, so this is pretty easy. Just remove the icon. Now what you could do is do some GitHub type of stuff. You could actually change the background color of this to be like some sort of info color, if you know what I mean. I don't actually remember what GitHub was. I'll just make it like this, and then get the stroke and change the color like that. As you can see, it looks pretty good in my opinion. And since this is a label, it can be the full width, and I'm gonna do label. There we go. So that's the label. Now I'm gonna make the label less thick. I'm gonna take the text bounds of the title. What are text bounds? It's how much space the text is using, and you see text bounds X33 and Y14. That means this text is using 14 pixels for it. So what I'm gonna do is make the label size 14 pixels plus 6 on the top and 6 on the bottom. Boom. Very simple, very effective, that you can do math and stuff. Yeah, so there you go. This is actually looking pretty clean right now, and that's all my time for now. I'm just gonna stop the video right here, and later we're gonna continue with more controls. Make sure to subscribe because it motivates me. Also join my Discord to give suggestions on what I should add next, or what I should do first in the next video. And yeah, that was it. I hope it was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video, maybe, hopefully.